show it is.
Yeah.
Chicken dinners.
Great fire. Rich famous.
When the chicken, then the money long clicking. Those who do it daily one-on-one populism. Cooper.
Winner, chicken dinners. We're going to be looking at the CBS Sports app. That's how I look at the picks. Obviously, if you on FanDuel, DraftKings, the spreads may be a little different, but for the sake of the channel, when I go through my picks, we're using the CBS Sports app. First game, 9 o'clock in the morning. We got Jacksonville Jaguars, a 1-point underdog at Chicago, but again, they're not at Chicago. They're in London. Chicago was 3-2. Jacksonville Jaguars, they got their first win last week. We had Jacksonville, and we had Jacksonville as a lock. This weekend, I like Jacksonville again. I think they found somewhat of what works for them. Chicago was a good team. Obviously, they're above 500. The rookie is showing us that he can play, he can ball. That's why they took him #1. But I don't think they all that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to keep winning. Not in a row anyway. They on a 2-game win streak. Can they win 3? Yeah, they can win 3 games. Will they win 3 games in a row? I don't think so. So we're going with Jacksonville. Next game. Washington Commanders on the road getting 6.5 at Baltimore Ravens. Washington got a better record. They 4-1. Baltimore Ravens is 3-2. So when I see the spread, I'm looking all the way from deep like, damn, Baltimore giving 6.5 to a team with a better record, to a team that's won 4 in a row? Are they going to win 5 in a row? Are they going to cover the spread? I don't think so. I know Baltimore had that game. We had Baltimore as a lock last week too. And at first it looked like they was going to lose. Then it went to overtime. Lamar Jackson fumbled the ball, etc. Woo. Baltimore ended up pulling it out. They covered the spread the spread was 2.5. They won by 3 in overtime. And I think Baltimore come out. I think they show the rookie and the Washington Commanders that y'all a good team, but you're not ready to start with the big boys. We at home. Lamar Jackson is, when it comes to the NFC, I think he's something like 15-1 or 16-2. It's some crazy record like that because the NFC don't play against the AFC like that. If it is, it's every 2-3 years. You know, it's one thing to watch game film, and then it's one thing to see Lamar Jackson faking one way with Derrick Henry and then running the other way. And Washington got an all right defense, but I think Baltimore comes out, and I think they spank them on some did not tell you not to come in this house after curfew. I think they spank him, and I think they spank him good. Next game, Arizona at Green Bay. Green Bay giving 5. Green Bay is 3-2. Arizona is 2-3. Arizona is another lock that we had last week with that 7.5 against San Francisco 49ers. Oh, real quick, we had 49ers last night too to start the week off. I didn't bet on the game, but I had the 49ers, just so we clear. Arizona, they beat them outright. I'm not going to say that I had Arizona winning straight up because I'll be lying. I didn't have them winning. I had them winning with the 7.5. I just thought that was just too much points, and we was right. Turns out they beat the motherfuckers straight up, and they won. This week here, I'm wondering, all right, you beat San Fran. You was at home. Now you're going to play Green Bay. They're giving you 5? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5? I mean, they got to win by a touchdown. The only other game Arizona was on the road for was Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, they played Buffalo, and they was winning that game in the beginning of the season. We had Buffalo, but Arizona covered the spread. Then they played at home to the Rams, beat the Rams, lost at home to the Lions. They had 3 straight games at home actually. Then they lost to the Commanders. Commanders spanked them boys, and then they beat the 49ers by 1. I like Green Bay. only because the spread, it's telling you to take Green Bay. It's like, yo, take Green Bay. They beat the 49ers last week, and you giving me 5? Why would I not want to take Arizona? They playing good, right? They getting a little mojo. Nah, going with Green Bay. Next game, Houston at New England. Houston is giving 7. New England is going to be starting the rookie Dre Makes or May Drake or whatever his name is. Houston is 4-1. New England is 1-4. Houston looking good. I had Buffalo last week as a lock. Let me make sure. You see week 5. Had Buffalo as a lock. You see the money sign next to him, and you see the X next to him. The 2 losses that we had for the locks was Buffalo and the Las Vegas Raiders. Anyway, let me go back to CBS. New England getting 7 at home, starting a new quarterback. At first, I was on Houston when I was looking at it. I'm like, now y'all want to start a rookie quarterback against a pretty good defense. Houston has a pretty good defense. Obviously, they 4-1, but they haven't been covering. They covered last week because they was favored. They was underdogs. Was they -1? I think Buffalo was -1. Then they made Houston by 1. But all they really had to do was win. None of their other games did they cover the spread. And we're gonna look now just for the sake of. I'm gonna try to go as fast as possible. So they the Colts, they won by 2. They didn't cover the spread. The Chicago Bears, we had the Bears that game. They didn't cover the spread. They won by 6. No, I think the spread was 5.5. I think it was fluctuating. They lost to the Vikings. They didn't cover the Jacksonville Jaguars spread. And again, they covered Buffalo because I think Buffalo was favored. I don't think they cover 7 points. That means they got to win by 10. Could they possibly go in there and spank New England? Of course, they got the better team. But New England at home, I think New England is on a 3-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. 4-game losing streak. Do they lose 5? Possibly. But I don't think they get blown out. I think they keep it close, and that's what we bet. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shout outs to everybody in the Florida area. I got family in the Florida area. That was another topic I was supposed to cover about the government and evacuation. We ain't going to get into that now. But my family is good. Hopefully, if you got family out there, they're good. Definitely devastating times, etc. But shout outs to everybody in the Florida area. Anyway, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they favorite 3.5 at New Orleans. We had New Orleans Monday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City keep pulling it out, bro. They don't be covering the spread. They keep winning. All they do is win. And they started the season 5-0. They on their bye right now. I thought Kansas City would win, but I didn't think they would cover the 5.5. Derek Carr got hurt. I don't know if he's going to play this week. Tampa Bay coming off the loss to Atlanta. We had Atlanta. 3.5 is a bit much. 3.5 is a bit much. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay win the game, but I don't think New Orleans is going to lose 4 in a row. I think it's 4 in a row. Yeah, because they lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Eagles, close game by 3. They lost to Atlanta, close game. They lost by 2. And obviously Monday Night Football, they lost by 13 to the Chiefs. I think New Orleans bounce back. If they don't win outright, I don't think they lose by 3.5. I say definitely take the 3.5. Next game, Cleveland Browns at Philly. Philly coming off the bye. Philly giving 9. Cleveland is 1-4. Philly is 2-2. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Philly been riddled with injuries. They haven't really shown us that they could, beat a team of last year, and then even up to a certain point of last year. I think they won 10-1. They went 9-1 in their first 10 games. Then after that, it was a decline. I think they get back to their winning ways, but they haven't really blown nobody out yet. And I know Cleveland fucking sucks ass right now. Like, Cleveland is trash. Sprinkle some dirt on them. They fucking trash. Hate to be like that, but they are trash. With that being said, I'm not going to bet on the game, but I'm not going to take the Eagles -9. I can't take the Eagles. I know they're coming off a bye, so they should be well rested. They should be ready to go. All systems should be go. I think they could win by 7, 6, 6.5. I don't think they win by 10, but I won't be surprised if they do. I'm just not going to bet that they win by 10. So I got Cleveland to cover. I definitely got Philly to win the game. Next game, Indianapolis Colts, 2-3 on the road at Tennessee, who's 1-3. Tennessee giving 2 on the hook. Tennessee, Monday Night Football, we had Tennessee against Miami. Tennessee won out, they won the game. I think they're coming off a bye too, if I'm not mistaken, right? Tennessee coming off a bye. The Indianapolis Colts is 0-2 in their division. Will they go 0-3? I was leaning towards the Indianapolis Colts, and I really want to take the Colts because Tennessee, let's face it, they're not really a good team. They beat Miami. Miami couldn't score. They couldn't move the ball. Tyreek Hill, I know he's like, damn, bro, can we get a backup quarterback in here that can throw the ball? You know what I mean? Like somebody, anybody, like somebody could throw me the ball. Offense is stagnated. They just look bad. So maybe that's why they lost last week. I'm gonna go with Tennessee though. Teams that coming off of the bye, division games at home. You got a whole week, and you got a whole extra week to prepare for the team that's coming in. Again, just for transparency, I was leaning towards the Colts. Could the Colts come in and beat Tennessee? Of course they could. I think Anthony Richards will be playing. Last week, Joe Flacco had to step in. Anthony Richards hurt his hip or whatever. But I think Tennessee win, and I think Tennessee goes to 2-3, and I think the Colts go to 3-3. That's what I'm going with. Next game, a few more games and we out of here. The Chargers coming off a bye. They favored by 3 at Denver. Denver is 3-2. Chargers is 2-2. I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot. I think the Chargers come off that bye feeling rejuvenated. Oh, don't get me wrong. What's his name? Bo Nix. He been playing well. Sean Payton. He got Denver playing good. The defense is good. The offense still leaves a lot to be desired. But I think the Chargers is the better team. I think they're the better team. I think they prove it. I think they come in and they get the win. Denver, I think, is on a 2-game win streak. 3-game win streak. So this week here, as you can hear the trend as I'm talking, I'm betting teams that's been winning that they're going to stumble a little bit. And so I got the Chargers. I like the Chargers strong. Next game, Pittsburgh at Raiders. Raiders was a lock last week. We was wrong. Pittsburgh, we had Pittsburgh last week against the Dallas. How about them Cowboys? In my opinion, I think Pittsburgh should have won. I did watch the game. Justin Fields, he was looking good. I don't really think it's his fault that they lost. I think Mike Tomlin, at the end of the game, I think he coached bad. You should have let them score. I think the first coach that I ever seen do that was Bill Belichick playing against Peyton Manning and them. You see me got my shirt. Rest in peace, my grandfather. You know what I mean? We bury him Monday. He was an avid sport fan. You know what I mean? He loved sports. I think if they would have let them score, then you got your timeouts. You got time on the clock. Then you could go down there and you could score right back and you possibly win the game. But you relied on your defense. You wasted your timeouts. Then you had no timeouts. Then you let them score. They did score. They went for it. They had no choice but to go for it. On 4th and goal, they scored. So shout outs to them for scoring. Now you got no timeouts. You got no time left. And now you expect Justin Fields to go all the way down the field and win the game, and it didn't happen. I said all that to say, I don't think Pittsburgh lose 3 in a row. Obviously, the Raiders, they're not a good team. They on a 1-game losing streak. They lost to the Panthers, then they beat the Browns, and then they lost to the Broncos, a team that they always beat, by the way. I see them losing 2 in a row. I see Pittsburgh breaking that losing streak, getting back in the win column, and I like Pittsburgh. Next game, Atlanta at Carolina. Atlanta is 3-2. Carolina is 1-4. Atlanta's giving 6. I like Atlanta, but I don't like them to cover. Divisional game. You got to be careful with the divisional games. I think Atlanta going to be pretty good this year. In fact, we bet on them 3 times this year. We won twice and we lost once, and we bet a couple dollars. You know what I mean? We took Atlanta and we bet a couple dollars on them. So we 2-1 with Atlanta. I won't be betting on this game because I actually like Carolina. I think Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, if they don't win the game outright on some upset shit, I think they keep it close. I think Atlanta will probably win, though, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the week that they lose. Next game, Detroit at the Cowboys. Detroit coming off a bye, right? Let me make sure. Detroit coming off a bye, so as you can see, I'm leaning towards the teams that's coming off the bye. Last year, this was the playoff game. Cowboys beat Detroit. Detroit should have won last year, in my opinion, right? But they didn't. Now, Cowboys, they're just coming off Sunday Night Football. You beat Pittsburgh. I thought you should have lost. I'm leaning towards Detroit, even though my mind is saying, is Cowboys going to lose 3 in a row at home? Because you know, let me make sure. You know, prior to them losing to the Saints and losing to the Ravens back-to-back at home, I think their record at home was something like 14-1 or 14 straight. Some crazy number where they've been winning home, including the playoffs. And then they lost to the Saints. And then people like, oh, they ain't going to lose back-to-back. Oh, no, they're going to lose to the Ravens. We had the Ravens as a lock, and we was right. This week here, I'm like, damn, is the Cowboys going to lose 3 straight games at home? I think they do. I know that may not be popular, but Detroit coming off the bye, they was banged up a little bit. We see them I think it was Monday Night Football, play against the Seahawks. And even though the Seahawks look a little shaky the last 2 games, Detroit is a good team. I think they better than last year. I think they well rested. I think they come out, and I think that's why they favored by 3. And I like Detroit. Will I be surprised if Dallas win at home and get their first win in the season? No, because they lost 2. And Sunday, when I wake up, I might even change this pick because I've been going back and forth. But I think Detroit is the better team. I think they're probably the rested team. So we're going to go with Detroit. Sunday Night Football, Cincinnati, favored by 3.5. They 1-4 at my sign is back here. You're not going to be able to see it. My New York Football Giants is in the back, but you know what I'm going to say next. It's New York in the house. It's Brooklyn in the house. Uptown in the house. Charlotte. You're like, my New York Football Giants, they surprised me last week because I had Seattle. And I'm happy that the Giants won, but I'm mad because I had Seattle won a good parlay ticket, and they fucking lost to the bum-ass Giants. Sunday Night Football, Giants getting 3.5 against a team that they got a better record than. I like Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati come out. I think they spank the Giants. I don't think the Giants is a good team this year. They're probably going to win maybe 6 games, maybe 7. But I really don't see it. I like Cincinnati to win and to cover. Let's get to the Monday night game, and then we're going to get to the locks. Monday Night Football is Buffalo, the real New York team, because they play in New York. They play in New York State, going against the Jets. Jets is 2.5 underdog. Buffalo is 3-2. Jets is 2-3. They just fired Robert Saleh, whatever his name is. Aaron Rodgers was clapping back at Shannon, and everybody that was saying it's his fault, and he co-signed on it. They demoted Hackett, whoever was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay, and some changes is going to be made. Make no mistake about it, right? I think Buffalo was the better team, but I'm going to lean towards the Jets. Not on no homer shit, but normally in sports, and this ain't really nothing to bet on, and it's not a lock, but in sports, when the team fires the coach or they have some internal drama, normally that's a rallying call, and teams actually come out and play well. The Jets probably would have a better record if Aaron Rodgers would play better. I mean, they had a chance to win a game last week. We had the Jets thinking they was going to upset Minnesota and give Minnesota their first loss. We was wrong. And if he would have threw the touchdown instead of a pick, we would have won. But he threw a pick, and he threw 3 picks last week, and we fucking lost. All right, let's get to the locks. Let's get to the locks.
Yeah. Great fire.
Winner.
Rich famous.
Winner, chicken dinner, money long clicking. Those who do it daily, one-on-one popovism. Cooper Gray got the fire bash lit up. Hit the bad line in the
Throwing signals. Shout out to my nigga Famous. Shout out to my nigga Great Fire. That's actually Great Fire's song featuring Famous, and it's called Money Line. And obviously I like it because they shouting me out. And one of my slogans is winner, chicken dinners. But here go the locks, not from Yonkers. The locks that get you and me the winner, chicken dinners. Here go the locks. Baltimore, Green Bay, New Orleans, the Chargers, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. $100 on the 6 pick, 48, 41. Winner, chicken dinner. Last week we went 4-2. Last real quick thing. Although I'm gonna make that a parlay, and I'm actually gonna put $100 on that, because if I win, that's 48, 41. However, I'm also going to separate the games and bet individually on the games. So that way, if we go 4-2 like we did last week, we can win. If we go 5-1, we can win. If we go 3-3, nobody loses. Obviously, if you go 2-4, then it's a loss. So just for the people that watch my show, if you're a gambler, you coming from my insight, I appreciate you. I bet every day. That's what I do. But don't just be betting to be betting. Try to win. And so in order to win, after you do your parlay, whether it's my parlay or you do your own parlay, the strongest teams that you're going to put on the parlay, just separate them. Put a little $100 on each game, $50 on each game, $20 on each game. And if you have a winning record, then you're going to win. Obviously, if you have a losing record, then you're going to lose. And just again, if you just tuning in, as far as all the locks for the season, we 14-16, so we actually 2 games under 500, so we losing. And we're going to try to fix that this week. But separate your games. That's what I got for y'all. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.